Brahmana represents the face or mouth. The Kshatriya represents his arms. Vaishya represents his waist, stomach. A Shudra is born out of his legs. So, Srila Prabhupada very interestingly explained here that amongst all parts of the body of the Lord, indeed the Brahmana being the head or face of the Lord is considered to be most important. So, however, all other parts also are important, right? Imagine if we had only head, what would happen? So, the body should have its complete unit, right? So, means in a society, all the four should work together for the service of the Lord. Ultimately, all the varnas are meant to satisfy the Lord. Here references first canto, second chapter 13. The varnashram is there. It says to please Lord Hari. It is meant to make everyone devotees of the Lord. But in Kali Yuga, we feel that we don't need of varnashram. But we can see that Srila Prabhupada talks a lot about varnashrama, right? Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in his Sajjana Toshani, explained that varnashrama is meant for devotees in his conditioned state. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai, since it is his all auspicious appearance day today. So, as long as we are conditioned in this material world, somehow or the other, we have to follow this system. And this system is personally created by the Lord Himself for the well-functioning of the society based on Varna and Ashrama. So again in Bhagavad Gita 4th chapter 13th shloka also Krishna says, Chatur Varnam Maya Shrishtam Guna Karma Vibhagasa Tasya Kartaram Apimam Vidhi Akartaram Avyayam. So if we follow this system, we can advance in Krishna conscious so nicely. So here in this shloka, we can understand the key here is Gunan Karma Vibhagasaha. Definitely there is a division of society, but what is it based on? Right? Guna, quality and the work one does, and not according to one's birth. If a person is born in a Brahminical family and he does not engage in the activities that are suiting Brahmanas, he cannot be called as a or accepted as a Brahmana. He is called a Brahma Bandhu, right? Relative of a Brahmana. So Brahminical activities are actually preaching, deity worship, and of course there are so many qualities of Brahmanas which is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 18th chapter 42nd shloka. Shamadama tapas saucham Shantim, Arjavam, Gnanam, Vignanam, Astikyam. So, these are the qualities which a Brahmana has to possess. Only then he can be called as a Brahmana. So, if one does not exhibit this, although he is born in a Brahmana family, he cannot be accepted as a Brahmana. On the other hand, if someone is born in a non-Brahminical family also, and if he exhibit these qualities, he can be accepted as a Brahmana. So here, further discussing on the Guna and Karma. For example, if you take a company, there is a janitor who sweeps and mops the floor. Imagine if the janitor is given a CEO post, can he do justice to that post? And vice versa. If the CEO is given a janitor post, can he do justice to the post? So he's good at decision making, he's very courageous, he's upfront and he's fighting out all the problems and giving solutions. Imagine if he's given a janitor job, then what kind of a chaotic position that will be. So both are not happy doing this job. It is not that janitor's job is inferior and CEO is superior. No, the company needs both of them. If 2 days, imagine if the janitor doesn't turn up in the office, what happens to our bathrooms and toilets? They'll start stinking, right? So we need both of them, right? The CEO also is required, the janitor also is required. Likewise, in this society, Krishna is saying, I have created a very scientific social division. So he says, Brahmanas are the brain of the society who can understand the Shastric principles very nicely, can provide proper directions for the administrative class of society and guide the entire society. So in the Manu Samhita, it is mentioned that Brahmanas must do two things. namely study the Vedas, perform deity worship, and do yagnas and give charity. So if Brahmana does not teach, then after death, I heard on Prabhu saying that he becomes a Brahma Rakshasa. Why? Because we keep the knowledge for ourselves. That's why Srila Prabhupada says we must spread this spiritual knowledge, which is very, very essential. Now coming to Kshatriya or administrative class. Kshatriya administrative, they are the leaders, like the kings. Kings, they always had Rajaguru or Kulaguru and the Brahmanas to guide them for all important decisions. So the Kshatriyas were highly passionate, very brave, and protect the people from any danger. So he will lead from the front, not unlike the leaders today, sitting in parliament or somewhere and they're sending other people to fight, right? It's not like that. If you see, even in the Kurukshetra war, be it Arjuna or Duryodhana, they did not sit in the comfort of the palace, right? And asking others to fight. No, they were leading from the front. This is a true Kshatriya. Even we have in the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 21st shloka, Yadyad Acharati Shreshtas. Krishna said, when leader sets an example, common people will follow. So the right kind of kings, Raja Rishis, they can have massive positive influence in this society, right? Now that Vaishya class or the business class. Unlike we can see nowadays how people are selling all this meat, wine, and all sorts of abominable things. For Vaishya class, what did Krishna recommend? Go Raksha and Krishi. Krishna said, cow care and farming. So we need food to sustain, right? Therefore, farming is so important. Next, Go Raksha. Cow is one of the 7 mothers as per Vedic understanding. So cow has to be protected. Krishna's loka is called Goloka and it's filled with cows, right? Krishna is called Go Brahmana Hitayacha. So he's a protector. Everybody, he's a protector of everybody, especially cow and the Brahmanas. Next, coming to Shudra class. So basically, there is a misconception that Shudra means downtrodden, exploited. Shudras don't have intellectual ability, they cannot fight a war from front and does not have business skills. But they take instructions nicely. If you ask them to do something, they will definitely do it perfectly. They are highly skilled at certain areas, Shudras. For example, if you take the goldsmith or the blacksmith, cobbler, tailor, so the society need all of them. So in this way, Lord has created the divisions very scientifically based on guna and karma, quality and activities. So, if we can chant the holy names like Haridas Thakur 24 hours a day, there's no problem. It is described that if nobody brings Haridas Thakur food for 3 days, he will fast and continue chanting the holy names. No problem. Now, who can do that nowadays? So, somehow we have to follow this Varnashrama, and it is called Daivi Varnashrama. That which is in connection with the Lord service. Whatever is in connection with Lord becomes Daivi, Daiva, or divine. Therefore, it doesn't matter whatever is a position in the society, whether Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, we all should cooperate. Srila Prabhupada mentioned in this purport also that cooperate to serve the Lord. For example, if my hand is so selfish, doesn't want to serve the body, then the hand will only suffer, right? So the hand, head, stomach, legs, all parts of the body, they should cooperate to serve the whole body. Then we will be happy. Right? Similarly, Srila Prabhupada mentioned that everybody should join to perform yajna. The idea of performing yajna is non-different from deity worship. Actually, when we are performing yajna, different personalities are invited. The fire which is offered, which is worshipped during yajna, is not actually the demigod Agni from heavenly planet, but It is the fire personalities from Vaikuntha planets. Actually, different samskaras, there are so many samskaras. For different samskaras, different fire personalities are invited. Therefore, this fire are the representative of the Supreme Lord, and that Kunda is the mouth. So therefore, through the yajna, Lord is fed. Ahuti means offering the ghee to the Lord. So everything is done for the satisfaction of the Lord. So we should understand that again, that the son of a Brahmana is not necessarily a Brahmana. Son of a doctor is not necessarily a doctor. One has to be qualified. There is a Vaishnava Siddhanta. It says that Naham Vipro Nacha Narapatir Napi Vaishwa Na Shudro Naham Varni Nacha Grihapatir No Vanasto Yathirva Kintu Prodhyam Nikhila Paramananda Purnam Rutabde Gopi Bharate Padakamalayor Dasa Dasanu Dasaha. So it says that I am not a Brahmana, I am not a Kshatriya, I am not a Vaishya or a Shudra, nor am I a Brahmachari, a householder, a Vanapastra or sannyasi. I identify myself only as a servant of the servant of the servant of the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna, the maintainer of the gopis. He is like an ocean of nectar, and he is the cause of universal transcendental bliss. He is always existing with brilliance. So again, all these varnashrama divisions are only temporary designations given to us. To conclude, I'm telling this. So these are certain roles, or we can say phase in our human being's life. Ultimately, one is not any of this. The pure soul is a servant of the master of the gopis, that is Supreme Lord Krishna. So being Krishna's servant is the ultimate destination of the soul. Other destinations, all these varnas are all temporary. Example, in this life, one may be a Brahmana. Next life, he may be something else. So all depends on how we use this free will given to us. Free will to cultivate higher modes and give up lower modes. Therefore, this system is created by Lord is meant for good for the society. If we really follow this system, we can nicely advance in Krishna consciousness, elevate our consciousness toward Sattva Guna level. So we all must make a note that we are not at the level of Paramahamsa, at least me. So we all have to follow this system, the Varnashram system, as long as we are in the conditioned state, as long as we are in this material world. Thank you all very much. I'll stop here. Gantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Patita Pavana Gurudev ki jai. Thai Gaur Premanande Hari 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 Bol. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, very nice class, Mataji. So I'd like to explain 2 lines in Kannada for the better understanding for Kannada devotees with your permission. ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ. ಇವತ್ತು ರಾಧಾ ವ್ರಜವಿಲಾಸಿನಿ ಮಾತಾಜಿ ಅವರು 2.5.37 ಶ್ಲೋಕದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ನೋಡಿ, ಈ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿ ಕಾರ್ಯ ನಡೆದ್ರು ಅದು ಭಗವಂತನ ಒಂದು ಇಚ್ಛೆಯಿಂದನೇ ನಡೆಯುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಹಿಂದಿನ ಶ್ಲೋಕದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಇದು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಈ ಭಗವಂತನ ಒಂದು ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ನ ನಾವು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಷ್ಟ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಭಗವಂತನ ಲೀಲೆ, ಅವನ ಒಂದು ಲೀಲೆ ಅಂದ್ರೇನೆ ಅದು ತುಂಬಾ ಇಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಕೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆದ್ರೂ ಅದು ಇಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಅದು ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಈ ಒಂದು ಶ್ಲೋಕದಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಣಾಶ್ರಮದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಬ್ರಾಹ್ಮಣರು ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಭಗವಂತನ ಒಂದು ಬಾಯಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು, ಕ್ಷತ್ರಿಯರು ಅವನ ಬಾಹುಗಳಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು, ವೈಶ್ಯರು ಅವನ ತೋಳುಗಳಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಶೂದ್ರರು ಅವರ ಪಾದಗಳಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು ಅಂತ. ಆದ್ರೆ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಏನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ, ನಾವು ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಓದಿದ್ವಲ್ಲ, ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಗುಣ ಮತ್ತು ಕರ್ಮದ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ವರ್ಣ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ರು. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಮಗ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂಟಿಲ್ ಅನ್ಲೆಸ್ ಅವನು ಆ ಒಂದು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ವೃತ್ತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರವೃತ್ತನಾಗಿ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫೈ ಆದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅವ್ನ ಮಗ ಕೂಡ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾನಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿನೇ ಬ್ರಾಹ್ಮಣನೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಬ್ರಾಹ್ಮಣನ ಕುಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಟ್ಟಿ ಯಾರು ವೇದಗಳನ್ನ ಪಾರಾಯಣ ಮಾಡದೇ ಇರ್ತಾರೋ ಅವರು ಬ್ರಾಹ್ಮಣ ಬಂಧು ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ ಹೊರತು ಬ್ರಾಹ್ಮಣ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಶೂದ್ರದ ಒಂದು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು ಸಹ ಅವರು ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಗಳ ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅವರು ಬ್ರಾಹ್ಮಣ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟೀಸ್ ನ ಹೊಂದುತ್ತಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ನೋಡಿ, ಅವ್ರವ್ರ ವರ್ಣಕ್ಕೆ ತಕ್ಕಂತೆ ಅವ್ರವ್ರ ಗುಣಗಳು ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಆಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ನೋಡಿ, ಎಲ್ಲಾ ವರ್ಣಗಳು ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೋಆಪರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಭಗವಂತನ ಸೇವೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಣನ ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ ಗೋಲ್ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಭಗವಂತನ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ. ನೋಡಿ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಚರ್ ಎತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು ಹೇಳೋದೇನಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಸುದೇವ ಪರಂ ಗತಿಹಿ ಅನ್ನೋದೇ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು. ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಧರ್ಮ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಲವ್ ಇನ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಟು ದಿ ಹಿಮ್, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಪ್ರೀತಿಪೂರ್ವಕ ಸೇವೆಗೆ ಭಗವಂತನಿಗೆ ಮಾಡುವಂತದ್ದು ಅಂತ. ಜೀವನ ಸ್ವರೂಪ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿತ್ಯ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ದಾಸ. ನಾವು ಸಹ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ದಾಸನರಾಗಿ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳುವಂತದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಈ ಒಂದು ಶ್ಲೋಕದ ಸಾರಾಂಶ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾವು ಏನೇ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ನಾವು ಭಗವಂತನ ಸೇವೆಗೆ ಅವನ ಒಂದು ಸಂತೃಪ್ತಿ ಪಡಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಯುಟಿಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಇಂದ ಶುದ್ಧ ಸದ್ವ ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಈಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಮಾತಾಜಿ ಅವರು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಫ್ಯೂ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಮಾತಾಜಿ.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavad Pranam Mataji.
Hare Krishna, ma.
Very nice class, Mataji. In this class, you explained like very well about the all four Varnashram system, Mataji. And you gave us an example saying that among all the parts of the body of the Lord, head represents the Brahmana qualities. Although head is important, rest of the body parts are also important in functioning of the body, you told. And in the same way, all the people of the society are required to follow the system for well functioning of the society. You very well explained that. And we have to follow the system just to advance in Krishna consciousness. And you also told us like you ended with the our only position in of the soul is, only destination of the soul is to be a servant of the Lord, and we have to just realize the other position in this human life are just temporary, you mentioned, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.